Okay. The screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome you all for NT lecture. So in the previous lecture, we have completed the types of sources and types of network elements, and we are just started the superposition theorem. Which theorems you have to learn, you have to understand, and you have to make a practice of solving the problems based on the different theorems. So there are the 4 theorems in your syllabus in the unit number 1. So first will be the superposition theorem, second will be the Thevenin's theorem, third will be the Norton's theorem, and fourth will be the maximum power transfer theorem. So we can start one by one now. So any theorem we can understand, we can discuss with these 5 questions. Okay. So first question is, what is superposition theorem? It is applicable for all theorem. Means what is Thevenin's theorem, what is Norton's theorem, what is maximum power transfer theorem, like this. Okay. Only the name will change. So superposition theorem we are going to discuss today, and we are going to understand the superposition theorem today. We can complete the theoretical part. What is superposition theorem? Where we can apply the superposition theorem, that is SPT, means it is a short form of superposition theorem. Next, after that, where we can apply means what will be the conditions. Actually, some conditions we require to apply the superposition theorem. Next one, third one is how to apply the superposition theorem. So means what we are doing actually when we are applying the superposition theorem to solve the numerical examples or to solve the electrical circuit. Okay, practically we are solving the electrical circuit to find out the various circuit responses like voltage across any element, current passing through any element, like this. Next, procedure to apply the superposition theorem means what will be the procedure, what will be the steps we have to apply. Step by step we can apply so that we can get these responses. And last one, applications of superposition theorem. So by using these 5 questions and the answer of these 5 questions, we can trying to discuss the superposition theorem. So what is the superposition theorem? First we can understand the theorem. I will read this first of all, this theorem, and then I will explain it line by line. The superposition theorem states that in a linear circuit containing 2 or more independent sources. So I am giving the comma. Wherever the comma is there, the meaning is that pause we have to take. In a linear circuit, in a linear circuit, uh, containing 2 or more independent sources, the response in any element, the response in any element is equal to the algebraic sum of responses caused by individual sources acting alone while other sources are non-operative. Okay. मग नॉन ऑपरेटिव्ह म्हणजेच काय, what do you mean by non-operative? Other sources we have to keep non-operative means what? That is given in the second paragraph. That is, all other ideal voltage sources are replaced by short circuit, and all ideal current sources are replaced by open circuit across their terminals. So this is what the superposition theorem. So what is the actually superposition theorem? So we can discuss one by one. So before starting the superposition theorem or any theorem, we have first of all discussed types of sources and types of network elements. So here the first statement is that in a linear circuit, anyone can tell what do you mean by this word, in a linear circuit? Already we have seen the linear circuit, non-linear circuit. Which components are present in linear circuit? कुठले components असायला पाहिजेत? Whether it should consist diode, resistor, or it should consist inductor, resistor, capacitor? Fast.
Inductor, resistor, capacitor.
Yes. So it should consisting of linear elements only. Okay. So in a linear circuit, so first condition to apply the superposition theorem is what? The circuit should be linear. जर non-linear circuit असेल तर आपण superposition theorem we cannot apply. Are you getting my point? So this is the condition in a linear circuit. Another condition is there. What is that? Containing two or more independent sources. So we have discussed the types of sources. So anyone can tell what do you mean by independent sources? Anyone can tell independent sources? काय एक शब्दात meaning सांगा. Independent sources means what? Whose value is known, whose values is given. That is the example. Voltage source is taking 5 volt, 10 volt, 8 volt, 2 volt, 1.5, whatever. Current sources, if you are taking 1 ampere, 2 ampere, 1.5, 3.5, 100 ampere, 100 milliampere. If the value of sources is known, then it is called as what? Independent sources. मग त्याचे symbol कसं असतं? So symbol is like this. If the voltage source will be there, then plus minus circle is there. Inside that plus minus. If the battery is there, then like this. Okay. If the current source is there, the symbol is like this circle. Inside that arrow will be there. So this is, so these all three are called as what? Independent sources. If these sources are present, then we have to count how many are there. Okay. But minimum 2 should be there. Minimum 2 so independent sources should be there in a linear circuit. Then and then you can apply the superposition theorem. So the first statement of this theorem indicates the condition where you can apply the superposition theorem. Everyone understood now? The first statement meaning in a linear circuit containing 2 or more independent sources. दोन पेक्षा जास्त आहेत, doesn't matters, but minimum 2 should be there. Okay, minimum 2 independent sources should be there. Now dependent sources, how many it should be there? It may be 0, it may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be infinite, doesn't matter. It will not affect on dependent sources. पण डिपेंडंट सोर्स बरोबर कमीत कमी 2 इंडिपेंडेंट पाहिजेत किंवा सगळे सोर्सेस इंडिपेंडेंट पाहिजेत, but the minimum count will be 2. Minimum 2 independent sources should be there. Next, the second statement, the response in any element. The response in any element. So who will tell what is the meaning of this? The response in any element. So what do you mean by response?
Current.
Only current? Or voltage also?
Voltage or current.
Yes. So it may be voltage, it may be current, or it may be both. Okay. But we are not calculating power here. By using superposition theorem, we cannot calculate the power. Or power responses we cannot find out. Are you getting my point? So the response in any element, that is nothing but voltage or current. Okay. So E is equal to the algebraic sum of responses. Algebraic sum म्हणजेच काय? Addition as it is. Okay. जर निगेटिव्ह व्हॅल्यू असेल तर निगेटिव्ह घ्यायचं, पॉझिटिव्ह असेल तर पॉझिटिव्ह, त्यांचे ऍडिशन करायचं. ओके. सो is it equal to algebraic sum of responses caused by individual sources acting alone. The response in any element is equal to algebraic sum of responses caused by individual sources acting alone while other sources are non-operative. Non-operative meaning काय? That is all other ideal voltage sources are replaced by short circuit and all ideal current sources are replaced by open circuit across their terminal. Now I will explain this point so that you can understand the concept of this second line and third line. So first we can discuss the second line. the response in any element. So for that, I will take one example. Okay, suppose this is the voltage source. So you can take 10 volt example. So suppose this is 5 ohm. Suppose this is 10 ohm. Suppose this is the current source, and current source will be 5 ampere. Okay, and I will find out the current passing through 10 ohm. That current I will give the name as I. The question is find out current I which is flowing through 10 ohm using superposition theorem. Okay, so this is the one example. Now, first of all, we have to check whether it is linear circuit or not. Whether it is linear. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is linear. Second thing, it is containing minimum two independent sources here. Yes, this is the
Yes.
10 volt and here 5 ampere. So two independent sources are present. Okay, so that is the first statement. Second, the response in any element. So what is the response? That is the current. Response means what you have to find out. So current you have to find out. So current means what? The current which is flowing through 10 ohm. That is the response. Now how to find out? It is equal to algebraic sum of responses caused by individual sources acting alone while other sources are non-operative. म्हणजे I चं व्हॅल्यू आपण कसं काढू शकतो? By using nodal analysis we can solve it. बरोबर आहे? But nodal analysis in that both sources are acting simultaneously. म्हणजे हा करंट I जो असणार आहे that is due to 10 volt as well as 5 ampere. It is a combined effect. बरोबर आहे की नाही? 10 volt मुळे पण काही करंट फ्लो होणार आहे आणि 5 ampere करंट सोर्स पण त्यात ऍड होणार आहे. So it will give the combined effect and that will give the current I. But I want to find out what will be the current flowing through 10 ohm only due to 10 volt. Can I find it? मला हे फाइंड आउट करायचंय की फक्त 10 वोल्ट मुळे किती करंट फ्लो व्हावं लागले 10 ओम मधून. Can I find it? Are you understanding this concept? Yes, Shubhakti, Sharyu.
Yes, sir.
What is my question? I want to find out the current passing through 10 ohm due to only 10 volt source. म्हणजे फक्त 10 volt जो सोर्स आहे तोच फक्त प्रेझेंट पाहिजे सर्किट मध्ये. 5 एम्पियर मला काढायचं आहे. So can I find out the current? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. We can consider the 5 ohm as the short circuit.
Short? No, current source is there. What is the meaning here? All other ideal voltage sources we can replace by short circuit. Ideal voltage sources replaced by short circuit, and ideal current sources we can replace by open circuit. Okay, so voltage source, if it is there, then we have to make it short, and if it is current source, we have to make it open. Means when we are keeping 10 volt as it is, and due to 10 volt, what will be the current flowing through 10 ohm we are finding. At that time, the remaining current source like 5 ampere, we have to make it open. And suppose still another voltage source will be there, then we have to make it short. Okay, then you can find out the current passing through 10 ohm only when 10 volt source is acting. Now next one, we have to keep 5 ampere current source as it is. मग या 5 ampere current source मुळे किती current flow व्हायला लागले, that we have to calculate. At that time, what we have to do, this 10 volt, what we have to do, this 10 volt,
Replaced by short circuit.
yes, so we should replace that 10 volt by short circuit. Are you getting my point? So finally, we have to add the current passing through due to 10 volt, that is I1 we can tell, and then current passing through 10 ohm due to 5 ampere, that is I2. We have to add it, I1 plus I2. That will give the final answer of I. So that is the meaning is there. The response in any element is equal to algebraic sum of responses caused by individual sources acting alone. म्हणजे एका वेळेस एकच सोर्स ठेवायचा आणि तो रिस्पॉन्स कॅल्क्युलेट करायचा. While other sources we have to make it just a beta. Who is Avenger? Okay. So the response in any element is equal to algebraic sum of responses caused by individual sources acting alone. म्हणजे एका वेळेस एकच सोर्स घ्यायचा आणि त्याच्यामुळं तो रिस्पॉन्स किती येणार तोच आपल्याला कॅल्क्युलेट करायचा. असं सगळे इंडिपेंडंट सोर्सेस तुम्हाला घ्यायचे एक एकदा आणि मग रिस्पॉन्सेस कॅल्क्युलेट करायचे आणि शेवटला तुम्हाला काय करायचंय, तुम्हाला ते सगळे रिस्पॉन्सेस ऍड करायचे. देन अँड देन यू कॅन गेट द फायनल आन्सर ऑफ दॅट रिस्पॉन्स. Are you getting my point? So while doing that, when you are considering only one source at a time, the remaining voltage source you can make it short and remaining current source you have to make it open. Are you getting my point? So this superposition theorem we have already discussed now, but we can understand the concept very clearly when we can solve one first example. At least first example when we can solve, we can understand what is the superposition theorem and how to apply it. So for that purpose, we have to understand some conditions, understand how to apply, and we have to understand the steps. Okay, just like what you understand, how you understand the nodal analysis, then you mesh analysis, like this we have to understand each and every step of the superposition theorem. So where we can apply the superposition theorem? So already we have discussed the theorem. In that first line is there in a linear circuit, means this is the first condition. The superposition theorem can be applied in only linear circuit. Second one, the circuit must containing at least two independent sources. That is also we have seen in the superposition theorem. The circuit must consist of at least or minimum two independent sources. And third condition is there. It is not condition. It is applicable for both AC as well as DC circuit. म्हणजे टाइप ऑफ सोर्सेस कुठलं काय असू दे, AC असू दे किंवा DC असू दे, we can apply the superposition theorem. Okay, so these will be the conditions where we can apply. That is where we can apply the superposition theorem. Now next, how to apply. Okay, how to apply and procedure to apply. That is combinedly we can discuss now. So how to apply in that, first point is in this method or in this superposition theorem method, we will consider only one independent source at a time. First, we have to observe the circuit, what we have to calculate, and how many independent sources are there, that we have to count. Suppose minimum 2 should be there. Suppose n number of independent sources will be there, then n number of times we have to repeat this step. Okay, so we have to consider only one independent source at a time so that we have to eliminate the remaining independent sources from the circuit by short circuit and open circuit. Means if the voltage source will be there, then we have to make it short, that is given here. We can eliminate the independent voltage sources by shorting their terminals, and similarly we can eliminate the independent current sources by opening their two terminals. Okay, so what we have to do, that is given in the second step. Third step is, if there are n number of independent sources are there, then we need to find out the response in particular branch n number of times. If there are n independent sources will be there, means 3 independent sources if it is present, then we have to repeat this step 3 times. If if only 2 independent sources will be there, we have to repeat for 2 times. Okay, so it is applicable for up to n number of independent sources. Now next, finally, the response in particular branch could be either current flowing through branch or voltage across that branch, or element you can consider. Branch ऐवजी element म्हणलं तरी चालेल. That we have to add it finally, so that we can get the combined effect, that is the combined response due to all sources acting alone. Are you understand? So this will be the how to apply the superposition theorem. मी तुम्हाला एक example सांगतो. I will tell one example. Suppose I will assign some work to 3 students. Okay, I will give some assignment. Suppose I will give the I will ask to write 10-page report on your project. समजा तुम्ही एक प्रोजेक्ट केलेला आहे आणि मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं, 3 जणांना सांगितलं की रिपोर्ट बनवायचा आहे. 10-page report should be prepared. You have to prepare the minimum 10-page report. So students are starting to prepare the report, and I will give the some days, that is 2 days, 3 days. So after that they will submit the report to me. After that my question will be like this: you have submitted the report, but what will be the your contribution? म्हणजे A नी काय केलं, B नी काय केलं, C नी काय केलं. It may be any probability. त्या तिघांमध्ये असंही असू शकतं की A नीच सगळं केलंय, B and C nothing they have done. There may be chances they have done equally. A, B, C all divided the work in a equal manner and they have completed equally. किंवा A आणि B केलंय, C नी काहीच केलेलं नाहीये. Are you getting my point? So I want to know that who has done how much of work. So I will take the oral. I will ask the question, what will be the your contribution? He will tell I have completed sir 50%. Then I will ask what is the proof? What will be the proof for that? Are you getting my point? Like this superposition theorem will be there. So due to one source, what will be the response? Due to another source, what will be the response? And finally, I will add all responses and I can get the answer of final response. So this is what the superposition theorem. Now, in the theorem second paragraph is there, that is voltage sources replaced by short circuit like this, and current sources will be replaced by open circuit. So like this we have to do it. So that is given here. To remove the independent voltage source while applying this theorem, voltage source must be set to 0. म्हणजे voltage source short केला याचा अर्थ तो 0 झाला. Okay, that is short circuited across their terminals. To remove this independent current source while applying this theorem, the current source must be open circuited. म्हणजेच resistance किती झाला? Infinite, or current is infinite. When it is open, the current meaning is infinite. Sorry, current is 0. Current is 0. So these things you have to do, these modification you have to do in the circuit when you are applying the superposition theorem. Next, the procedure for applying the superposition theorem. So all 3 steps you can read. I will give just 1 minute. All 3 steps everyone has to read. Completed? Okay.
Yes.
The procedure for applying the SPT. So step 1 is what? Find the response. Find the response in a particular branch by considering one independent source and eliminate the remaining independent sources present in the network by open circuit or short circuit. It depends on whether it is voltage source or current source. Next, repeat this step number 1 for all independent sources present in the network. समजा 3 आहेत तर 3 वेळा हे रिपीट करायचं. समजा 2च इंडिपेंडेंट सोर्सेस असेल तर 2 वेळा. Okay. So finally in the step number 3, add all responses in order to get the overall response in particular branch when all independent sources are simultaneously present in the network. So finally we have to take the algebraic addition. Algebraic sum we have to take in the step number 3. So these will be the step number 1, 2, 3. So step number 1 means what? You have to consider one source, one independent source at a time, and due to that, what will be the response that you can calculate. But while calculating that, other voltage sources you have to make it short and other current sources you have to make it open. Like this, you have to repeat it for all individual independent sources. And finally, we have to add all these responses and you can get the final overall response. Okay. So these will be the procedure to apply the superposition theorem. Now, what we can do now, we can finish the applications and then we can move towards the solving the first example. आपण काय करूया, एक example घेऊया. So this is the one example. So before example, we can complete the application so that we can complete the theoretical part. So there is some limitation as well as application. The superposition theorem cannot be useful for power calculation. Means by using superposition theorem, we cannot calculate the power. That is a limitation. Next, this theorem works on the principle of linearity and power is the non-linear term. Power actually has V square divided by R to I square into R, like this V into I. So that is the non-linear concept. That's why we cannot find out the power responses using superposition theorem. So that is a limitation or drawback. So the application is what? By using superposition theorem, we can analyze the circuit. Analyzation means what? We can find out the voltage and current through any branch or through any element. We can find out the voltage and current by using the superposition theorem. Okay, so these are the application. Now we can solve this example. Okay, we can solve this example. Just wait. Okay. Now this is the question. Anyone can read what is the question here? Anyone? I'm not
Find the
asking
current
answer.
flowing through 20.
Yes. So find the current flowing through 20 ohm resistor of the following circuit using superposition theorem. Okay. So this is the circuit diagram given and we want to find out the current passing through 20. So what will be the current passing through 20 here? That is nothing but the current passing through this 20 ohm is only one here. So this current I will give the name as I. So that current is nothing but response which we have to calculate. But they are asking to use the superposition theorem. This same problem we can solve by Norton theorem also, Thevenin's theorem also, by nodal also we can solve directly. But they are asking to use the superposition theorem. So according to that theorem only we have to solve. Okay. And we have to get the current passing through 20 ohm. So observe the circuit here, whether it is linear.
Yes,
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is linear. Second thing, how many independent sources are there?
2.
Yes. So 20 volt voltage source and 4 ampere current source. Only 2 independent sources means it is satisfying the condition. Okay, it is satisfying the condition to apply the superposition theorem. So we want to find out the current I due to only 20 volt. After that, we want to find out the current I due to only 4 ampere current source, and finally we can combine those currents, okay, to get the final answer of I. So this is the superposition theorem we can apply now step by step. Okay, so we can move towards the next point. So I will redraw that circuit once again. Okay, so the screen is visible. So I will draw that circuit now. This is the 4 ampere current source. This is the 20 ohm. बरोबर है? This is 5 ohm. This is 10 ohm. This is 10 ohm. And what is the voltage here? What is the voltage value? That is 20, no? Yes. So it is 20. It is 20 volt. Okay. So this is the example, and we need to find out the current passing through this 20 ohm. That is I. Okay. So we can start now. So I know that the response we have to find out. Only 2 independent sources are there. So we can consider the first 20 volt as it is. So I can start to apply the superposition theorem. I will write in short SPT. So before that, we have to consider there are the 2 types. So I will write here. So method 1 or type 1. Method 1 or type 1. What do you mean by that? The circuit should consist all independent sources. The circuit should consist all independent circuits or independent sources. It's a DNT shortcut lile. Second one, type 2. Type 2. In type 2, minimum 2 independent sources and minimum one dependent sources. Okay, so type 1 means what? All independent sources. Type 2 means what? Minimum 2 independent sources and minimum 1 independent sources. So which is the type? If you are observing this circuit, it is type 1 or type 2?
Type 2.
Where it is dependent then? Dependent दिसते का तुम्हाला कुठं?
No, sir. Type 1. No, type 1.
Yes. So it is a type 1. Only independent sources are there in this circuit. No dependent. Dependent means diamond shaped symbol. Whether it is observing here anywhere? No. So this problem belongs to what? type 1 means all sources are independent only. But in both condition, both type, the minimum 2 independent sources should be there. Then and then we can apply the superposition theorem. Okay. Now next thing here, when only 20 volt voltage source is acting alone. When only 20 volt voltage source is acting alone. Okay, now just wait. Okay, so when only 20 volt voltage source is acting alone, so at that time, what will be the circuit diagram? That I will draw. So I will keep this 20 volt as it is. 20 volt as it is. So this will be the 5 ohm as it is. So this will be the 10 ohm as it is. This will be 10 ohm as it is. This will be 20 ohm as it is. So what about this 4 ampere? What
Open
about 4
circuit.
ampere? Yes.
Open.
So it is the open circuit. बरोबर आहे? So in that case, we have to keep as a open circuit across their terminal. त्याच्या दोन टर्मिनल मध्ये तो ओपन ठेवायचे. मीन्स देर इज नो नीड टू कनेक्ट दॅट करंट सोर्स. बरोबर आहे? म्हणजे इथं करंट सोर्स आपल्याला कनेक्ट करायची काही गरज नाहीये. So we can keep this circuit as it is. So we have to find out this current now. We have to find out this current. So what will be the value of this current now? What will be the name? Who will tell? We want to find out the current passing through 20, and 20 ohm and 10 ohm are in series now. That's why the same current will flow. So what will be the name of that current? Whether it is only I or something else. First, we have to complete this example.
I3 minus I2.
No. I have not mentioned anywhere I2, I3 like this.
I30.
No. So we can give the name as we are taking the first source. We are taking this first source, no? Okay, first source we are keeping. So I will give the name as a I1. Have you understood now? If you are taking the first source, then you can give the name as I1. So I is replaced by I1 now. So how to calculate this I1? By observing this circuit. Which method we can apply?
Mesh analysis.
Mesh, for mesh, it is difficult to find out the current passing through here. Okay, mesh is also applicable. Mesh is also applicable, but compared to mesh, the node will be the easy. I feel the nodal analysis will be the easy compared to mesh, because in mesh analysis you have to get two equations. One is for I1, this loop. Second one is for this loop. But node is only one. Only one node is there. That's why only one equation you can get. So within less step, we can get the answer if you are using nodal. So I will give the name as V1 now. And this is the ground. So nodal we can use. Okay. So nodal analysis we can use. Node analysis we can use. Now for that purpose, we have to mark the direction of current. This is outgoing. This is outgoing. And this is also outgoing. You can mark. So all are the outgoing current. And after that, we have to write here V1 is greater than 20 volt. V1 is greater than 0 volt. So these will be the assumption. Assume. So apply that KCL here. Apply KCL at node V1. So V1 minus 20 divided by 5. Then plus V1 minus 0 divided by 10. Next plus V1 divided by 30 is equal to 0. So how 30 it will come? 10 plus 20. So what is the LCM here? LCM is 30. So multiply 6, multiply 3, and multiply 1. Okay. So 6 into V1 minus 20. Next 3 into V1. Next 1 into V1 is equal to 0. So V1 term is 6 plus 3 plus 1, 10 V1. So 6 into minus 20, that is minus 120 goes to the right hand, becomes plus 120. So V1 value is what? 12 volt. But we are interested in, but we are finding out I1 current. But I1 is what? If you are observing this circuit, this branch, V1 divided by 30, that will give the I1 current. But I1 we can calculate V1 divided by 10 plus 20, you can do it. So V1 is 12, 12 divided by 30. Anyone can tell what is the current? What is the answer? 2 by 5. 0.4?
0.4.
Yes. So 0.4 ampere will be the answer of this question. That is I1. Okay. So only 50% problem we have completed, because what will be the current flowing through this 20 due to only 20 volt, that we have calculated. That is the 0.4. But while doing that, we have opened the 4 ampere current source. Okay. Now what we can do, we can keep the 4 ampere current source as it is, and we can short this voltage source. आपल्याला हा voltage source आता काय करायचं? Short करायचं. Okay. So for that purpose, we can start here. So when only 4 ampere current source is acting alone. So for that purpose, we have to short the voltage source. So this is 5 ohm. So this is 10 ohm. So this is 10 ohm. So this 20 ohm as it is. And this will be the current source 4 ampere. So we need to find out the current passing through 20 ohm. So I will give the name as I2, because I am taking the second source, and for that purpose the current I2 we have to calculate. So how to calculate this current I2 now? By which method we can calculate? By which method we can calculate? Can we use nodal? Can we use nodal analysis here? See here. So if you are using nodal, this will becomes V1. This will becomes V2. Right? So V1, you can mark outgoing current. This is outgoing current. This is outgoing current. Again, this is outgoing current. This is outgoing current, and this is incoming current because it is value is 4 ampere. So you can solve it by nodal analysis, and you can get the answer of V1, V2, and finally after V2. So okay, we can solve it. Node analysis. So I will directly write here. Apply KCL. Apply KCL at node V1. So assumption I will write V1 is greater than V2. And V1 is greater than 0. So you can write the equation now. V1 divided by 5 plus V1 divided by 10 plus V1 minus V2 divided by 10. All are the positive because all are the outgoing currents. So take the LCM of 10, 2, 1, 1. Okay, so 2 into. So you can consider 2 into V1 plus 1 into V1 plus 1 into V1 minus V2, that is V1 minus V2 divided by 10. Multiply with 0 in right hand side becomes 0. So 2V1 plus V1 plus V1, that is 4V1 minus V2 is equal to 0. So this will be the equation number 1. Similarly, you can apply KCL. Apply KCL at V2. Okay, V2 is greater than V1, you can assume it. So V2 minus V1 divided by 10. Next V2 divided by 20. Next minus 4 because that is the current incoming. So it is equal to 0. So you can take the LCM of 20, multiply 2, multiply 1, multiply 20. So here, if you are calculating that one, 2V2 minus 2V1 plus V2 minus 80 is equal to 0. So minus 2V1, 2V2 plus V2 is 3V2. Minus 80 goes to the right hand side, becomes plus 80. So this will be the second equation. So solve these two equations. Tell me now what will be the answer of V1 and V2. Sangamala. Solve equation
32.
1 and 2. So V1 is V1
8.
8 and V2
32.
32. Okay.
Yes.
So V1 and V2 we got, but we are interested in I2 current. So I2 means what? The current flowing through this 20. For that purpose, I must know the V2 value. Okay. So once I got the V2 value, I can get the I2 value. But I2 is equal to V2 minus 0 divided by 20 ohm. Okay. So V2 is 32 divided by 20. So it is 1.6 ampere. Barabar hai?
Yes, sir.
It is 1.6 ampere. Now finally, by superposition theorem, by SPD, the value of I which is passing through 20 ohm, that is given as I is equal to I1 plus I2. So I1 is what? 0.4 and I2 is what? 1.6. So it will give what?
2.
2 ampere. So that will be the final answer. So this is 2 ampere when both sources are acting simultaneously. मग माझं उत्तर हे बरोबर आहे का नाही? How you can cross check? If you have time in exam, you can cross check. How? You can use directly nodal analysis here. So this you can consider the V1. This you can consider as a V2. So apply the nodal analysis here. This is outgoing. This is outgoing. This is outgoing. Here also this is outgoing. This is outgoing. And this is outgoing. This is incoming 4 ampere. Okay. So solve this nodal by using nodal analysis. You can get the answer V2. Then V2 divided by 20 करा तुम्हाला 2 ampere answer मिळेल. Okay. So today we have completed the theoretical part of superposition theorem and we have solved the first example. So still the number of examples we can solve based on the type 1 as well as we can solve the example based on the type 2. And then we can move towards the next theorem, that is the Thevenin's theorem. So in the next lecture, we can solve 3 to 4 examples and then we can discuss the next theorem. So today we have discussed the superposition theorem and this example we have solved. If anyone having any questions, any queries, you can ask. Otherwise, we can stop for today. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you, everyone.